Hi, I'm McGrath, and the library where this lesson would take place would be an urban public library in the children's section. And the audience for this lesson would be elementary school aged children along with their caregivers, and they're going to work in teams. The title of this lesson is Celebramos en la Biblioteca. And the goal of this lesson is to teach library literacy, awareness of the different genres of books, and where in the library to find them, where they're shelved. And so, okay, bienvenidos, that means welcome, hola, welcome to the library. We are going to celebramos en la biblioteca, which means celebrate in the library. So, how many of you have done anything to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month at school? Yeah? So what we are going to do here is some activities where you get to walk around the library, learn a little bit more about the library, and a little bit more about Hispanic heritage. So, I have a map right here, and I also have some beautiful clothes and mats from Peru, but on this map I have a lot of different countries. I have Bolivia, Dominican Republic, Mexico, Honduras, lots of countries. And when we talk about Hispanic heritage, heritage is something you inherit. It's about where you're from, and there are people who live in the United States who are from all these countries. And even though this is South America, this is Central America, this is Europe, all of the people from these countries have one thing in common. They speak the same language. Does anybody know what language that is? Yes?
Spanish.
Is that right?
Yes.
They speak Spanish there. And so, did you know that in the library you can find books about Hispanic heritage and even books in Spanish? So this is a map of countries, and now I'm going to give you guys your own maps. There's a map at the top and a list of activities at the bottom. Here you go. All right, so can you tell what that map is of? That's of the children's section. And you can see there's one part of the map with yellow stars. Can you put your finger there? Yes. Okay, that's where we are right now. And so I've marked 3 sections very clearly of the books that we want to find. So we have 3 kinds of books, and we'll start with this. Does anybody know what a biography is? Yeah? Yeah, good. So I'm just going to review. A biography is a story of a real person. It's their life story. You can learn about their lives. And the one I have here is Sonia Sotomayor, who is a Supreme Court Justice whose family came from Puerto Rico. And I have another one here, Cesar Chavez, and there are a lot of people that you can study who are Hispanic Americans, and I wrote some. I have Gloria Estefan, who's a musician. I have Mariano Rivera. Has anybody heard of him? A baseball player. And we can come up with some more. And then when it's your turn to go find a biography, look on the shelf. Look for the last name. Do you guys know what ABC order is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So using ABC order, if you want to find Gloria Estefan, you're going to go to where the letter E is. Yes? Okay. So the next kind of book that we want to talk about is fairy tales. Does everybody know what a fairy tale is? Yes?
Yeah.
So a fairy tale or a folk tale has magic in it, right? So one fairy tale that probably everybody knows is Cinderella. But I have a book here, Little Gold Star, which is a Spanish-American Cinderella tale. So what you can do, all the fairy tales and folk tales in the library are where you see these purple arrows on your map. And you can find books that have Hispanic fairy tales. So that's a second kind. And finally, there are books that are written totally in Spanish, and I have some here. And what's neat when you read in Spanish is sometimes the words are very similar to English. This one's called el tren, and if you look, that's a train, right? So when you go to the section, which is called the World Language section, which not only has Spanish books, but also has books in French and in Arabic and in Mandarin, you can look, and when it says Spanish here, then the book's going to be in Spanish, and it could be a book about trains like this, or what's really neat is when you have a book that has Spanish and English. So this says, ¿Qué hay en el bosque, querido dragón? What do you think the Spanish word dragón means? Does anybody see? Yeah?
Dragon.
Dragon. It's almost the same word. So, now that you know what you're doing, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go find your 3 books, and when I play the music again, we're going to come back and we're going to share the books that we found. So, have a good time. Okay, so welcome back, everybody. And I'm so excited to see that you found some libros. And if you can hand them to me, we'll take a look at some of the examples you found. So, what do we have first? Okay, first we're going to go with the biografía. We found Mariano Rivera. So this is a biography of a baseball player, and he is from Panama. And so this is exactly the kind of book we were looking at. I'm going to put it right here on our table. And now, what else do we have? Okay, does everybody know what kind of book this is? This is a world language book. It's called El Barco. It seems to be about boats. So this is a great example of a world language book. And finally, we have The Golden Flower, a Taíno myth from Puerto Rico. And here is Puerto Rico. So this is your fairy tale, folk tale about Hispanic heritage. So great job. And I hope that you guys can keep that map, or at least keep it in mind, so that the next time you celebrate something, like maybe Black History Month or Lunar New Year, you can find a biography or a fairy tale, folk tale, or a book in a different language, so that you can get a deeper understanding. So thank you so much for coming to the library, and I'll see you next time.
Is it over?